This is the Jack Murphy Podcast. Here's your host, Jack Murphy.
Today's a very serious day. There's a Cat 5 hurricane moving through the Caribbean. It's going to hit Jamaica, and it's really not hyperbole to say it's one of the most powerful hurricanes that's ever been tracked, 160-mile-an-hour winds. I've got a map of the projected path, and at about 8 p.m. tonight, it's going to be right over Jamaica. And already, I think there have been 3 or 4 people killed already in Haiti, and it's just going to get worse throughout the evening and into the night, and then it's going to go right over Cuba. So a lot going on with this hurricane. Yesterday, I hate when people do this, but yesterday on social media, there were a lot of people talking about this hurricane, and they were showing some pictures. And, to give you an idea of how powerful this hurricane was or is, they sent out those airplanes, Alpha, that they fly through to get the low pressure reading or whatever else they do. But people were taking those pictures and photoshopping them. And they actually had, and it may be true, they were saying, oh, it's terrible. There are birds caught in the eye of the storm and they can't get out because of the high winds. And I never really thought about that. But if you're, I guess if it's like a category 1 and you're a bird sitting in a tree or something and it escalates and you get swept up in it. So you're in the kind of mile part in the eye of the hurricane. And as it increases intensity, you can't fly into 160 mile an hour. But anyway, the people were showing this doctored photo of these birds up at the top of the hurricane circling. And first of all, I thought those birds would have to be 30 feet wide for them to show up that big in the photo. And there's no birds flying around at 30,000 feet. There's no oxygen, they're no different than people. But we do have a photo of the eye wall, and it's pretty impressive. Look at this thing.
Oh, wow.
This is from the plane, by the way, that went up. I mean, it's so defined. Look at it.
Yeah.
So, obviously, Jamaica is going to really get a shellacking today.
And it looks like it's headed for a path over Bermuda as well, which...
after it goes across Cuba, it could regain strength and then do some... The only good thing about Bermuda is they're built for hurricanes. It's a higher island, and they've been through so many that they build to survive them. Jamaica, there's a lot of very poor areas of Jamaica where people basically live in huts with tin roofs. And what was the stat that I read this morning? 70% of the population of Jamaica lives within 3 miles of the ocean.
Wow.
And you got a Cat 5 pushing 15-foot tidal waves, and 3 miles is not very far. So Kingston, which is the most populated area of Jamaica, Old Harbor Bay, Rocky Point, St. Elizabeth are expected to be the hardest hit. I tried to call this morning. I've been to Jamaica a few times. I tried to call the Catholic diocese in Montego Bay, and the phone wasn't working. I tried to call Margaritaville in Montego Bay and Ocho Rios, and neither phone was working. So apparently the utilities are already down all across Jamaica. So,
well, prayers for those people.
Yeah, say a prayer for the people of Jamaica because they're going to need it. Landslides, no power, flooding, bad situation.
Now, how'd it go with old,
Who, Rex?
Yeah.
Well, I went over to his house yesterday, and he peed on me.
You're kidding me. I mean, did y'all know each other?
He's my next-door neighbor. I go over and smell his poop every day.
Oh.
So I don't know if you've seen this or not, Alpha, but I think this might be right down your alley.
Uh-oh.
Because how many vaccines have you had? 0. That's what I thought. Do you get just the regular flu shot every year? Nothing. Take any statins?
Nope.
Take any anti-erection pills or anything like that?
Anti-erection pills? Yeah, sometimes I have to do that. I'm not bragging or anything, but
Any vitamins or anything like that?
I do take a vitamin.
Okay.
I take colostrum.
All right. So the reason I bring it up, there's a new social media trend. You know, I'm very active and progressive on the media and the talk and everything, but
You are.
this is a Facebook group, and it is it's called, I think it's called the Pure Blood Group.
Your blood, yeah.
Pure Blood, and it's for people that are looking for people to date who haven't had any vaccines, because they now think that you can pass that rDNA along by having sex with somebody.
Yeah. Well, and for people who are giving blood, right now the blood banks they're actually looking for people who have not had the vaccine, because
Really?
there's a lot of spike proteins in the donated blood which can transfer to the recipient. So
I had no idea. Now, I do have one of these. Here's an example of the type people that are on there. Here's her sexy photo. It says, "Hello, 38, no vaccines for 20 years, no gene therapy, live in the Western U.S., but she likes to shoot, able to relocate. I'm looking for a life partner with similar lifestyles and interests, which include business owner, I work remote, holistic health. I've never slept with somebody who's been vaxxed, tactically trained, travel, fine dining, total foodie, I cook and bake. I want children. I have full custody of a toddler." Anyway, she goes into this whole long description of herself, and her whole relationship is based around being with somebody who's not vaxxed.
Well, if there's somebody who's not vaxxed out there, who likes getting out in the woods, who can dodge a bullet if necessary, you know,
she's your girl.
Yeah, that's it.
She
right
is
there.
your girl.
Yeah, you can skin a rabbit.
Yeah,
dress a
you know,
deer.
Facebook. There's several groups like that on there. There's also one, I see it and I went, something bad's going to happen out of this. It's called the Homesteading Group. Have you seen this one? Homesteading Group. So it'll have a woman, and usually it'll say, "My husband left me after 26 years, and I took my half of the money from the house, and I bought this RV and 10 acres of land in West Virginia, and I'm homesteading. And I'm looking for a person who wants to come and build their own cabin and help grow crops." And, you know, they have this long list of things they want to people.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of them on there. It's amazing how many people are doing that.
Well, if you like hairy-legged women,
Yeah.
I guess,
And you want to be
like
with
I said,
complete, you know, you just want to pick up and move to go be with a complete stranger out in the middle of nowhere with no cable, probably no internet, and eat potatoes the rest of your life.
Yeah, and drink water out of the stream.
Yeah, probably so.
I'm just telling you, you need to start training. There's fucking feral cats out there.
Well, our friend Kim Kardashian's back at it. You know, we had the, what was that product called, Alpha, that I showed you?
Oh, gee.
Before?
It was the Merkin thing.
It was a thong, with a little mini Merkin built into it. But it had some kind of a name. I can't remember. But anyway, she's now offering, you know, either things are going really well over there at the Kardashian house and they feel like they can just sell anything, or it's not going well at all and they're just throwing products out there. I don't know which it is. But now she's selling lollipops for your vagina. Now, I know that last sentence might have confused you, but because I went there too. But no, these are regular lollipops. You treat them like you would any other lollipop.
Right.
They also come in a gummy form, but they contain probiotics that help combat things that go bad down there in your lady parts area. I won't go into them because just the thought of them turns me off. I think you know the kind of things I'm talking about. They're called Lemmy Purr. And Courtney said, I love that they turned daily self-care into something sweet and simple.
Oh, gee.
Yeah.
So if you're out and you hear,
You might want to stay away for a week or two.
just my veggie pop, it's all right.
Might want to stay away. So I'd fly, here in Charlotte, the main airline, if I'm going to fly somewhere, is American. I usually fly American, got my mileage stuff through American. I don't fly a whole lot anyway, but I kind of felt sorry for this Delta flight attendant there in Atlanta where you live, Alpha, the 26-year veteran flight attendant of Delta. And I guess they landed there at the Atlanta airport the other day. And apparently there's a control, when they get ready to open the door, I guess they have to flip it to unlock it. And then there's a second control that says open door or activate emergency slide. Guess which one he did?
Oh, no. Emergency slide.
He accidentally put down the emergency slide. And apparently that cost like $70,000. To deflate that thing and roll it back up and get it checked out by the mechanics and stuff. The plane was still at the gate, and a lot of people that were on the flight got very angry because they were delayed getting off of it, and they felt like the flight attendant wasn't apologetic enough. He said, 26 years, I've never made that mistake, and people are on airplanes anyway. They're all
what a way to end a trip in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Whee!
And
down the slide.
And then they got kind of mad because some of the people, they had to bring mechanics and stuff out there to they said, why can't we just slide down it?
Right.
And they wouldn't let them because they were afraid somebody might get injured sliding down it. So they were stuck on the plane for a couple of hours while they deflated this thing and detached it from the plane, apparently. So,
nothing's more fun than sitting on a plane on the tarmac.
It's the greatest, isn't it?
Isn't it?
It's the greatest. Now, I have a important health tip for people like you and I today, Alpha. When you go to bed at night, I used to be bad about this, and I can't do it anymore. But when you go to bed at night, do you have a television on or?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. Apparently, that's really bad for you, particularly as you age. There's a new study out that says sleeping with just a nightlight can be bad for your heart if you're over 40. People with the darkest bedrooms have the lowest risk of heart attack and stroke. People who sleep with a nightlight or even TV on have a 20% higher risk.
Wow. Yeah, I know people who have the blackout curtains and just do pitch black. But, another thing, though, when you're old coots like us, you have naps punctuated by having to get up and go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I sleep, I listen, I have like on my phone, I'll listen to something. I'll listen to some Bible scriptures or a Bible podcast or something, and it turns off. And I flip the phone upside down so there's no light, and I don't have a light. And I usually get a good 6 hours before I get woke up to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I get up once, I'm fine. I can go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Get me another hour or two, no problem.
But if it's pitch black, you're stumbling in the dark, and there's no telling what you might run into, and that's all we need, when old like us to fall and break a hip.
Now, I do have a night light out in the hall for that purpose.
I see. There. Okay.
My palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, vomit on my sweater already, mom's spaghetti. I'm nervous, but on the surface I look calm and ready to drop bombs, but I keep on forgetting.
So, as you know, the big, all you've been hearing about lately on all the social media sites, on television news, when you hear a Democratic, all they talk about is how SNAP benefits are going to end.
Wow.
In November. Now, the other thing that's going on, I didn't realize this, but air traffic controllers and the TSA, those guys are basically working without a paycheck right now.
But have been assured even by the administration that everything is moving smoothly. A few delays.
Yeah.
But
well, what I was going to say was this morning I saw Duffy, the transportation secretary, saying they're having more and more call in sick because some of them are saying, hey, if you're not going to pay me, I'm not coming in.
Well,
and, you can't accuse them of not being sick or whatever. And he said, at some point, we're going to have transportation slowdowns. It's going to be coming. But anyway, this thing with SNAP, I keep hearing everybody saying, oh, there's going to be 43 million people who are going to be starving. And I feel sorry for people that don't have money that are on. But my big question is, how the hell did we get 43 million people on SNAP to begin with?
Right.
43 million people are getting food stamps?
And you're seeing videos of people who come on and they are bragging about it.
Tons of them are bragging about it. They brag about how they pay $38 in rent and they get $3,000 in SNAP benefits, and they have 6 children by 6. And now a lot of these people, my understanding is, and I just got interested in this yesterday, a lot of these people were added to the SNAP rolls during COVID.
Right.
And have never been taken off.
Right.
And the fact is, and I see these interviews too with these women talking to their daughter, and they say, you ain't getting a job. If you do, they're going to add that onto they're going to look at that in my benefits, and I'm not taking a cut on my check.
Right.
But the Democrats, they always seem to pick the worst people to rep their causes. They had a hearing in yesterday in Washington where they brought in this lady to talk about how bad it's going to be when she can't buy food because her SNAP benefits are going to be cut.
Employee of the school district, I only get paid once a month. By the time I get my bills paid, I have nothing left to pay for food and other basic needs.
It looks to me like she's getting plenty of food.
She could skip a meal or two.
Maybe the kids are starving because she's eating all the food. I don't know. But
if it wasn't for SNAP benefits, I wouldn't be able to feed my children or myself. I work, pay my bills, and like every other mom, I want to be sure that I have enough food to put on the table.
And she's terrible at reading a script. I want to be sure, like every other mom that I have. But I mean, it's just not a good look. If you want to talk about somebody not having the money to buy food, get a thin person who looks like they might be hungry.
Somebody who's emaciated.
Don't roll out Mama Cass talking about getting her food stamps cut. And I'm not making fun of her. It's just bad optics.
Yeah, you can't have some sympathy for her because she does work. Now, there are people I've seen said, wait a minute, you want me to work 20 hours a week in order to keep my benefits?
Yeah.
There's no way I'm going to work 20 hours a week. Just, okay, well, then you don't get the benefits. That's,
now, I don't mind her getting them at all because, as you said, she works and maybe she made some bad decisions and got herself into a jam. I don't mind helping out people like that at all.
Yeah.
But just not great optics on the Democrats' part to literally roll her out there and have her be the spokesperson for it.
Well, the Democrats have had a lot of bad optics here lately.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, there's a great new bad optics right now. I know you've got a story about Mondama you want to tell us about. Did you see the Gavin Newsom podcast interview?
Oh, for crying out loud.
Oh, my Lord. He's going to get skewered for this. He goes on a podcast. It's some black podcast where these people are obviously they're hip, cool, and he's on there trying to be hip and cool. And he's trying to tell these people, does he think no white people or other people are going to see the podcast? He's telling them how poor he was growing up and how he had to hustle. And he steals a line from one of these other guys' stories about stacking 6 pieces of Wonder Bread together to make a sandwich to get enough. Gavin Newsom was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He's Nancy Pelosi's nephew.
Yeah, he's in the Getty family, and of course
Yeah.
we know the Getty family, famous for oil and
Yeah.
famous all over the West
His
Coast
father
as
was a
power brokers.
judge. I
Yeah.
mean, there was no shortage of money at the Gavin Newsom house. He was not
Yeah,
out hustling.
he grew up with a loaf of Wonder Bread and mac and cheese, and had to come home alone and had to raise himself. And you know that's nonsense. What he had his own winery as when he was 21 years old.
Yeah, he'll
I think.
have
So,
to he'll have to answer for it. But the thing is, if he's running for governor, it won't make any difference. But when he runs for president, he's going to have to answer a lot of these questions.
there's a lot of video out there that's not going to be kind to him.
Now, what's the new Mondami lie that he's telling?
Well, Mondami, of course, the guy who's running for mayor of New York,
Right.
they had one rally the other day where AOC and Bernie, what's his name, Bernie
Sanders.
Sanders,
Kathy Hochul.
and they were
Kathy
just railing
Hochul.
about things. But he got up and said that it's a big problem being a Muslim now because you are harassed. And he recalled his aunt, who right after 9/11 was afraid to get on public transportation wearing her hijab because she knew she would be harassed and maybe worse, maybe beaten. Well, he actually was in tears telling this story.
Right.
Turns out the whole story's a lie. The aunt that he was referring to, A, didn't wear a hijab, and B, didn't even live in New York at the time. So now I'm seeing this morning the story is slowly changing to it was another relative,
another aunt.
and he actually he misspoke. And
But besides
people do
that, people are people. The world is what it is. And whenever you had an attack like that, and we knew that it was Muslim people that did it, and you don't know who's, if they have other cells or whatever, everybody's going to be on edge. It's to be expected. If I were an American white guy walking around Iran and there was an attack on the great leader by an American, you think I'd be out riding any buses in the city? No, not until things blew over a little bit. Doesn't make it right, but very understandable if it was true, but it was a lie, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it was all a lie. And he's weeping, he's telling his story and weeping. And so if a man can get up in front of his constituents,
they all can,
and lie like that,
and
what other?
He's an actor. He's you, Alpha. He's an actor.
Well, not really sure I want to be in the same category.
He's an actor, but
point.
they all can do it. Biden tried to do it.
Yeah.
Clinton did it. Kamala they all can become whoever they're in the room with.
Yeah. Yeah. Pencil neck Schiff, when he gets up and says, I have the evidence is clear.
Yeah.
I have the evidence. That,
very believable, even when he's lying.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you getting information right now? Hot sauce. Hot sauce in my bag, Swag?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yes.
Now listen, I just want you to know, people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to black people.
Okay. Is it working?
Well, I'll tell you this, Alpha. I'm really sad that I'm not out in Silicon Valley, that I'm not a tech wizard and I were out in Silicon Valley, because I don't know if you've heard about this, but you and I are really missing out. Apparently, China and Russia have been sending attractive women to the United States, to Silicon Valley, to steal secrets from tech executives. They're honeypotting.
Oh, wow.
Female spies are engaging in sex warfare. Some of the women even marry and have children with their targets, an industry insider told the Times of London. It's the Wild West out there with the honeypotting. So these nerds are going out to bars and things at night, or restaurants or whatever, and these beautiful women come up and, say, "Ooh, I'm very attracted to you," and they have sex with them and try to steal secrets.
Yeah, well, Eric Swalwell, Fang.
Maybe someday they'll become interested in podcasting secrets, and you and I will be the target of some honeypotting by some hot Russian women someday. Who knows?
I think we may be too old to respond by the time that happens.
Probably so, but
yeah,
you can always dream a little bit.
Yeah.
At funeral home, preacher tried to throw me out for bringing in alcohol. I said, son, if people couldn't drink and get naked at my funeral, I don't know if I'd even care to die.
So one final thing today. MSNBC did a story, and they had J.B. Pritzker, the picture of health and vitality.
Oh.
The governor of Illinois was on MSNBC, and I can't think of the reporter's name, but they're both talking about how Trump is tired of people calling him Hitler, and Pritzker goes, I've never called him Hitler.
Right.
I've never called him a fat. And the reporter said, I don't think anyone's ever called him Hitler or a fascist or anything. No one ever has.
Look at that. That's all of them.
Like
well, that's
40
not
times.
even all of them.
And by the way, is it just me, or is that Nicole Wallace looking more like a man every day?
She's looking like a little testosterone-ish. Yeah.
She could be a Macron.
Oh,
what's happening
Brigitte.
with that, by the way? Speaking of Macron,
the trial is supposed to be starting.
Huh?
The trial is supposed to be starting. Now, I don't know what's going on with that right now. I haven't heard any reports, but the trial has begun.
Who knows what's going to happen there? I want to see the, it seemed to me all they have to do is do the DNA test.
Or just make her drop trial.
But but the thing is, the DNA test has to be done here in America, not bringing it over from France, because you can't trust that.
Yeah. And look, we did it. See, look, she's a full woman.
Yeah. All right, we're out of time. Thank you for joining us on the Jack Murphy Podcast. If you haven't, subscribe and you'll get a notification whenever there's a new episode. We usually do them Monday through Friday. Alpha, good luck with your auditions. I know you're doing over the next couple of days.
Thanks for watching the Jack Murphy Podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Go ahead, ring it. Get alerts when a new episode drops, and tell your friends about the Jack Murphy Podcast. But only the cool friends, please. Tune in next time for another episode of the Jack Murphy Podcast.